Recently, I spent time in Austria and attended a BNI meeting of small and local business owners who get together to network. One of the individuals that I met during this visit was Katharina Burger, who is a passionate holistic nutrition coach. We were talking about how we both work with products of the sun. And I thought, that's an interesting spin to be a guest on the podcast, particularly because she deals with food. Her journey began not in a kitchen or a clinic, but through life experience. While living part time in Brazil, she discovered her love for vibrant, diverse cuisine and was drawn into the world of Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine, approaches to food and health. Later, a serious illness in the family brought the role of nutrition as healing into a sharp focus for her and motivated her to change direction professionally. So, not only does it require you to be healthy in the solar industry because it's a demanding job, but you can't be healthy if you don't put the right fuel into your body. Stay tuned for this interesting interview. It actually changed my perspective. I am moving to a very sugar-free diet, so take out of it what you will. Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Emmitt again here with the What's Up Pod Solar Podcast. You hear that? I'm not editing it out because I'm human. Here's the thing. I usually talk about solar. Really, I talk about the sun. And a big component that the sun gives us is life. How does that translate? It translates into food, it translates into our health, it translates into our well being. I for certain know that after October, must take supplements for not getting enough sun, which is vitamin D3. If I don't, everything goes crazy. So while I was in Austria, I met this beautiful woman. She was hanging out at BNI with me, and we got to talking about solar. And she says, I work in solar too in a abstract kind of way. And I was like, how is that? She was like, I do health, wellness, and food. So I was like, okay, cool. Um, Here she is, Katharina Burger. How you doing?
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast. I'm flattered. Thank you.
You know, uh, it's very important because if you work in the solar industry like I do, or if you're young and you work in the solar industry and you work outside, it is imperative that you maintain your body. Not only you have to maintain your body, but you have to be really conscious about it because you may be standing for long periods of time. You may be standing on uneven surfaces, which are pitched. So your ankles, your knees, all these things, your hips. That's one of the things that I'm going through now. I enrolled in a course so I could have hip openers so that I can have better mobility. But one of the things that, particularly here in America, we have this thing of pill pushers. We call them doctors.
Ah, okay, now I get it.
We have an obesity issue and we have people who are chronically addicted to medications. When I'm starting to learn that much of that is not really necessary if we maintain the human connection. And can you walk us through how you found your way into holistic health and traditional Chinese medicine?
Well, yeah, I think I started quite early with my aunt. She was a yoga teacher in the 80s when yoga was not even a thing, you know?
Oh,
It was
wow.
pretty early. And I grew up with yoga and Ayurveda. And yeah, that brought me into the ancient healing systems. And then back in 2017, my mom got a cancer diagnosis, breast
Oh,
cancer stage 4. It's been 8 years, and yeah, she's still alive. She's doing quite good. And I think our holistic approach with the normal medical treatment and working with functional doctors and a big part was her nutrition. It really walked her through her disease and got her better. And that was for me the turning point when I realized, okay, I should stop or I should switch careers because I was working then for a university And I said to myself, okay, I should do something meaningful with my life. And that's why I switched then into nutrition. And yeah, that's here I am. And I'm trying to get people healthy in their aging process, more or less. I
Let
think
me
that's
let me
the
let
thing.
me say this. I didn't pronounce your entire name. It's Burger-Holzer, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So, and the reason that's important is someone may be trying to find you, and then you're like, I don't see
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But you can find me on my website. So it's Eat for Life. So it's
And
easy.
now you're in Austria, which is eat the number four life
Yes.
dot
Mhm.
at.
Yes, that's it.
Being in Austria, but this is a global aspect of life. Everywhere you go, there are human beings. They need to understand how to live a holistic life. It's weird because at the age that I'm at, I just really got introduced to it about 10, 15 years ago when I had plantar fasciitis and was in San Francisco. And someone's like, I went to the acupuncturist and they cured me for some things and it cured my plantar fasciitis.
Hmm.
Most people don't know about this. What are some of outside of your website? What are some of the, how can someone start to go down this journey?
Well, it's easy. You should take care of the basics. It's enough sleep, enough movement, daily movement. It's getting your steps in, taking the stairs, not using the elevator. And it's starting with the breakfast, eating enough protein. And probably the most important thing is eating what your granny or your grandparents would consider as food, proper food that grows. Now, it's not out of the box, but it really grows in your,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? In soil.
that's
So
that's a
I
weird
think that's
thing.
the thing, you know?
It's weird in the United States because we are such a processed nation. Like
Yep.
everything is so processed.
Hmm.
We've come to the conclusion that we shop on the outside of our grocery store because that's literally this is when you walk into an American grocery store. You walk in the outside, there's a produce section, there's a meat section, there's a dairy section, and everything else is in between that, and it goes in a big circle, such as that. Having said that, I think we've lost here in this country that natural cooking ability because everything's so expensive for natural food.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we are spoiled here in Austria because we have a lot of, you know, good food available and yeah, a lot of small farmers who are doing really a great job. So I think we are really spoiled here because we have a lot of proper food. And last year I
Oh,
went for my first time to the US and I was shocked. And everybody in my family got sick. So it was
did they
really
really?
everybody got digestive issues. It was crazy, you know. Everybody was bloated and diarrhea and whatever, and it was crazy. And I did one of my nutrition courses at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in New York City online. And they always said, you know, you better go to good old Europe because there you can eat anything, dairy, gluten,
Yes.
and you won't get sick of it. And it was really very interesting because my entire family last year, we really, yeah, we were not well. We
Yeah,
survived, but we were not well and we were not flourishing. And I think that's the problem in a way. And I think we really here in Austria, we are spoiled, but it's getting worse. So people are eating garbage out of boxes. That's
yeah.
not food.
No.
That's trash.
It's better living through chemistry.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's so easy, you know, because well, I always say that health starts in the kitchen. If you're not able to prepare at least a couple of dishes, and if you don't have at least a couple of cooking abilities, then you're lost. You're screwed.
So many people do not understand how to cook from scratch or partially from scratch in this country. I know this for a fact.
Mhm.
And your program, it emphasizes not just what we eat, but also how we sleep, which I suffer with dangerously. I sleep for 4 hours, wake up for an hour, and then might fall back to sleep. The
Mm.
Chinese medicine, which you bring in, helped me to kind of understand early on what was happening. And it was because I was drinking too much alcohol. And my liver was like, no, wake up.
And you know.
And to move and to manage stress. These are things that in the United States, unless you have a physical job, you suffer with, especially after the pandemic. So we've just discussed that you should go back to the natural foods or whole foods, such
Absolutely.
as meats, vegetables, things that come from nature and not from a box.
Yeah.
Sleep can be difficult for some people, as it is me, because I go to bed at the same time, but then I wake up and then I have to think about all the things. And this comes to the stress part. The stress and sleep are
Yeah, they
tied
really, yes,
together.
yes, they
I
are.
move a lot. I try to move a lot, even though I
Yeah.
have a desk. But why do you believe the lifestyle pillars are just as important as nutrition itself?
Well, because we have a human blueprint, and I would say we live against it. So that's the problem. So it's too much tech involved. We all are up for much too long, and all the, the mobiles, the computer, whatever. It really influences our hormonal system, and that's the problem.
Oh.
And so that's why we really should try to live more with nature, which is from time to time quite hard. But you could try magnesium for sure. You did.
I
Did
did.
you?
I did.
Spyglass glycinate. It's a
Yeah,
magnesium
but yeah,
glycinate.
because everything else makes you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's good for your bowels, but not for sleeping. That's true. And it's really it's. I mean, I know I myself have an issue since I had a COVID infection with
Ooh.
my sleep, and I really tried to dial back to very good sleep hygiene. So for me, it's really pitch black, dark room, trying really to get off tech 2, 3 hours before bedtime, really try to focus on breathing, on calming myself down. But it's an issue, yeah. So if you
Mm.
really have a sleep issue, it's really worthwhile to go to a functional doctor or a nutritionist or whatever to really get support because it's quite individual. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
all the general information is quite good, but if you're moving enough and whatever, but it's some sort of tricky and some sort of complex, yeah. But it's always worthwhile to work on sleep, always.
One thing that I noticed about you when I met you is you're really fit.
Yes, I am. I
I was
try
like,
to. Yeah.
wow, she's really fit. And I'm
Ah,
like, she's,
yeah. I mean, I'm turning 50 next year, so I have to take care
yeah,
of my. I
my
have to take care of my muscles.
my friend, you said you're turning 50
Yes,
and
next year, April. Yes, I will.
we're not going to even talk what 50 looks like in the United States.
Well, it depends probably. I think there are a lot of people who really look fit, but
Yeah,
in
but
the
you have to
States.
you have to work really hard
Yes, you
here.
do. Yeah, for sure. Yes. But yeah, it's yeah, sleep is really complex and exercise as well, except the daily movement. If you're getting your steps in, if you move more, if you try to yeah, to have here and there a little break for move a little bit, doing some exercise, whatever, it can be very basic. So my approach is always I try to get in the basic habits that are enhancing the human's blueprint, that are really to try to get better. So I think it's all about the basics. I know people hate me for that, but it's not a big thing.
Yeah, one thing
But
that
we
I
have to do consistently.
yeah, one thing that I am working on now is I realize my mobility is horrible. I
Yeah,
lifted weights for years and never
yeah,
stretched.
yeah.
My goal is to get into a seated squat and be able to sit there for 10 minutes.
Oh wow, yeah, but that's quite a goal.
That's quite a goal, especially with being like 6 foot, mostly legs and stiff hips. But
Yeah.
a lot of people may come to you and then like, look, I've had this thing where I eat less, I do more exercise, but it fails me every time. What's your approach for them?
Yeah, I mean, eat less, move more is probably easy in the first decades of your life. It could work, not always, but it could work. And after 40, because people I'm working with, they're 40 plus,
Yeah.
especially women, well, it's not enough, I would say, because yeah, it's always like a complex system. You have to take a look at the stress management. You have to really nail your sleep because sleep is getting worse after 40, especially for women. So you have to work on it in a bigger approach. So it's not enough to say, okay, it's don't move more and eat less. It's I mean, if this would work, we wouldn't be faced with an pandemic of obesity. So I think that's the thing, if it really would work. I mean, we have so many diet books out there. We have so many online courses out there. We have so many people who are talking about nutrition and lifestyle and whatever. So if it would be so easy, um, yeah, we would have found our solution by now.
I
But
know through my 20s and 30s, I could eat anything.
yeah,
I could basically drink butter and lose weight if
yeah,
I
for
wanted
sure.
to. But
Yeah,
now I I did an experiment. I did one meal a day.
I am. Mm-hmm.
I lost weight. I
Mm-hmm.
lost muscle too.
Mm-hmm. I
I
know.
I looked, but and it was different. I tried going vegetarian for a while. The problem was I needed B complex and all kinds of things happen. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really you almost need to be guided through
Absolutely.
with some things. What's your target group? I know you talk a lot about women, but are you able to help men as well?
I love to help men or to support men because you guys, it's so much easier with men because women are so much more complex. Their hormonal system is so much more complex that it's really, it's something. It can be really tricky, especially if a lot of stress is involved or if there is a thyroid issue involved. So it can be really tricky with women, but
Yeah,
with men, it's super easy. You can do a lot more than we could do. So one meal a day, for example,
yeah.
I mean, it would kill the hormones of a woman 40 plus, but it doesn't with you. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
need more consistency. We need a gentler approach, I would say, in comparison to men. And I think so I really love men because they're so super easy. You say, okay, you quit a little bit of sugar, you cut down on alcohol, and yeah, improve your sleep, move a little bit more, and ooh, it's working out. And with women, it's like, oh, okay, you have to do this, da, 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 da. So it's really, and it's mostly with women, it's about the stress and about the sleep. So those two are really, really hard to, yeah,
Stress
to
is a big component here in the United States.
absolutely. Yeah, in Austria as well. I mean, it's everywhere because we're living like crazy on this earth. It's everybody is so busy and we're always on and we're never off. So I think that's the big thing. You know what I mean?
So what's some of the strategies that you suggest to people for de-stressing their life? I know breathing sounds like woo-woo stuff, but simple breathing, learning to breathe. That's what I'm into now is learning how to breathe because we take
Yeah.
such shallow breaths.
Yes, I know. It's
We're
always
not,
like,
yeah, we let our autonomic nervous system just kind of do its thing
absolutely.
and we're just
Absolutely.
doom scrolling or something like that. What are some of the things that you help people with?
One of my best recommendations, I would say, is doing a little meditation while you're eating, So that means be fully focused on what you are eating.
Mm,
So sit down, have a break, take a couple of breaths, and then start eating and then chew for 20 to 30 times, which is quite hard. But
it
that's
is.
the answer. So nobody would need me if everybody would be able to chew their food properly and if they would be able to say, okay, now I'm eating. I'm really eating. I'm present with my meals.
Mm,
And that's the whole shebang. It's nothing else. It's take your downtime while eating. It's make a meditation out of it. I think that's probably one of the things that you could do, and it's so hard. I'm still working on it, because we're so distracted. We're so easily distracted with, oh, there, da 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 da.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. So it's all about. I mean, my work is really about the basics. I really try to get people realize that wait till you're hungry, and when you're hungry, sit down and eat, and then check in and realize, am I getting fuller? How is it? How does it
Mm.
feel? When do I have to stop? So it's about really getting conscious with what you're doing. I think that's the miracle, and it's so hard
You
because we're
know,
always on.
one of the things that I realized, my wife is Austrian,
I know.
and when we came together in one household, I realized the plates were really small compared to the average plate in the United States. We have
Yeah.
platters of food served
Mhm.
to us.
Mhm.
And because we had a generation, I think it was before the war or during the war, where we had the Great Depression. So there was this ideology of make sure you eat everything on your plate.
Yeah.
And it carried out through generations. Well, we're not in this lack time anymore, and we have an abundance of food. It is amazing. And like you said, we also eat very fast.
Mm.
One thing that I noticed, and I'm going all over the place here, one thing that I noticed is that when I come to Austria, I can eat bread, I can eat cheese, I can drink alcohol, I can have a meal. So I'll eat about 4 times a day in Austria. And I
Mhm.
typically come back at the same weight or less,
Mhm.
which is weird to me because I'm always thinking, oh, went on holiday, went on vacation, you come back fatter.
Mm-mm.
And it's the quality of the food that
Yeah.
you have.
Yeah.
And that's what really started me to really thinking about it, which was about 10, 15 years ago.
Mhm.
Why is the bread so much better?
Because it's sourdough bread.
All of it?
Most of it. I mean, the real breads, not the semmel, not the
Yeah.
the how you call them? I mean, I don't know the word in English.
So we
The
have loaves of bread that you buy in plastic things that when you
Yeah,
go to the
that's not
grocery.
bread. That's garbage. Forget it. You can throw it away. No, so I mean, the thing is, we have a baker here, and the sourdough is 200 years old because they always take a little piece out of it and making a new sourdough out of it.
Yeah.
So what does the sourdough? It helps us to process the gluten, for example, or the
Ah,
anti-gluten.
yeah.
So it's easier for our digestive system, and the more time it gets during the sourdough process, during the dough does its thing, its
Yeah.
miracle, it's getting easier for our digestion, and I think that's the answer. And the thing is, in the US, this is what I learned during my nutrition course in the US, is that I mean the gluten in wheat in the US is a lot more than here in Austria. So I think it's 100 times more than we have it here.
Really?
It is. It is. That's the thing. Yeah. So you
Yes.
really, yeah, it's crazy. So we should do some interchange with the
Yeah,
with the
we were baking our own bread for a while,
yeah.
but because my wife has a condition, we really have to be careful about what she consumes.
Hmm.
And anywhere in America, if she consumes grains here, it's it's not good. And I'm just learning that we're just being experimented on for profit in the United
Yeah,
States,
yeah,
which is horrible.
yeah.
But I'm so glad to know someone like you. And all my information pretty much was spearheaded by Austrian women.
Interesting.
So
Cool.
years ago, when I was trying to figure out why I couldn't sleep, Sabina told a friend of hers, and she came back to me and said, "Hey, are you drinking a lot of alcohol, or the nights you can't sleep, are you drinking alcohol?" I'm like, "Yeah, I play darts." She was like, "Or it's usually on the weekend," or she's like, "Yeah, that's your liver." And she
Yeah,
showed me the Chinese medicine clock, and
yeah,
then I started translating it to other part. Why am I always sleepy when I come home from work at 4 o'clock?
yeah, Yeah.
Oh, I have to look at what this organ is doing and why it's
Yeah.
processing. What did I eat for lunch? So it's a big thing. What are the next steps that people can take with you and eat for life?
Um, well, they can visit my website. I have a bunch of, I mean, unfortunately, only in German, available in German, but with with ChatGPT, you can translate anything these days. Well, I have a
Actually, your Chrome browser can do that too.
yeah, cool. So you see, yeah, it's no more language barriers.
Yeah.
Well, they can check out my free content that I have there. So I have a bunch of recipes. I have a blog. I have a couple of freebies. And is it freebie? No, it's a German thing, isn't it? Yeah.
No, freebies,
And
giveaways, freebies.
yeah, giveaways. Yeah. And well, I'm offering online programs. I do one-on-one consultancy a lot, uh, as well in different languages. I have a client at the moment from the Netherlands because I
Mm.
speak Dutch as well because I lived in Belgium for a couple of years.
Mm.
So I do it in Portuguese because I lived in Brazil. Yeah, so it's one-on-one consultations, it's group programs only in German, especially for women 40 plus. And I'm working on a couple of online programs right now. So yeah,
What about Instagram, Facebook,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
TikTok?
Instagram. It's only Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
No TikTok?
No, forget it. I'm too old for it. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. I'm older
I'm
than
even too
you.
old for no, I'm even too old for Instagram. It really annoys me. So I'm so happy with the BNI. It sometimes it really annoys me. And we have so many influencers who are a lot better than I am. You know what I mean? So they have a lot of workforce behind, which
Yeah.
makes it easier. But yeah, yeah, no, not on TikTok. I'm super. I mean, Insta is sufficient, I
So
would
let's
say.
talk about BNI and how BNI has helped you.
Well, I would say it broadened my target group because that's why I'm working with men 40 plus. I would never have met before, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it really opened up my target group and
And and BNI is Business Network International. This is where we met because my
absolutely.
brother-in-law
Mhm.
said, "You're going," and my mother-in-law as well. And I had to present, which was
It
very
was
nervous
very
because
nice. No,
I did it. I I I started speaking Deutsch.
I
And you
mean, I
guys,
have to ask you, do you speak German?
I I spreche kein Deutsch. Is
Well, you do, but you understand it a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so then you're fine. I mean,
I understand it. No, let's talk about this. I understand Hochdeutsch.
yeah, I know. That's the thing.
That's the thing. I
I
understand
know.
Hochdeutsch, and I can read much better than I can hear.
I can imagine. I know.
So when my wife is speaking, I don't understand a word she's saying. But when
I
my
know.
I have a German friend who speaks, so I pretty much understand what she's saying.
I
Unless my wife is speaking to my German friend.
Yeah, I know that's the thing with Austrian German. I mean, we don't speak German, we speak Austrian dialect. That's it. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's the
'cause-
only language that you need here. So I really appreciate it if I can speak to anybody else in the world. So nice because I studied languages and for me it's like, why did I do that?
yeah, yeah.
Because you don't need it in Austria.
Yeah, it
Not at
was it
all.
was surprising because I had studied for years. I studied for about 2 years,
No,
and I thought I was just dumb.
no, you're not.
And
No.
here's what happened. This is the story. I was studying, right? And then my wife would be speaking on the phone, or she would be talking to the kids. And one day I'm getting on a train at the airport in San Francisco, and this guy is speaking German on the phone, and I'm listening. And it was like the sun came out. And I was like, I understand exactly what he's saying. What?
Yeah.
So I come home and I tell this to my wife, and she says, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." She had never said this before. She says, "Oh, yeah, we have a dialect." I was like, "What do you mean you have a dialect?" She was like, for instance, when we traveled down south to meet your relatives, she's like, I barely understood what they were saying. I was like,
Oh, yeah. Mm, I know. Yeah, I know. It's really unfair because in Austria, and the thing is, we do not even understand people from Vorarlberg. You know what I mean? So it's the western part of Austria. I have no clue. Or Tyrol. It's the same thing. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't get it. So yeah,
yeah,
we're such a small country, and we don't. Yeah, we really have language problems here.
yeah.
But it's not your fault. It's our fault because
Okay.
our German is not German. It's Austrian dialect.
It's its own little offshoot language.
We are, yes. I
So
know.
remember, everybody, the website is eat the number four life dot at,
That's it.
and that's for Austria, right? The AT stands for
Absolutely.
Austria. And your Instagram is
Oh my God. Eat for life underline Katharina, I think. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, eat for life underline Katharina. Is it underline?
so it will be on the video anyway. So
It will. It will for
yeah,
sure.
so
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 I'm so into Instagram that I do not even know my Instagram name. What a shame is that? Oh my goodness. Yeah,
but people need your help. So
I know.
quite a few people need your help, and
I
this needs to
know.
be a big movement because people literally don't know.
I
They
know.
they figure if it doesn't, if they can put it in their face and it doesn't kill them and they can swallow from their spoon, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what we really don't know is it's just accelerating our exit on this planet.
Yeah, it does. And there are so many diseases out there that would be easily preventable. Yeah.
Great.
So this is something probably that's yeah, it's all about prevention and not about treating disease. Disease is for sure part of our lives, but we can do a lot not being sick when we're getting older.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the WhatsApp Solar podcast because it's so important for people who are not only in the industry but other people to understand this because of the demanding nature on your body and how to maintain that body so that you can do your craft. So thank you so much, guys, for being on the WhatsApp Solar podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Emmitt. Really, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Hopefully soon in Austria.
Yes, that'll
Yes,
work.
we
Yeah.
will. You give me
So
a call.
so remember this. The sun not only gives us life, it gives us our mood, it gives us food, it gives us warmth so that we can actually move around because I know in wintertime, I don't want to move a whole lot because it's cold. The sun gives us a whole lot and it doesn't ask for much. And the one thing it will never do is send you a bill. Till next time, love you all. Peace.